Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am flipping through my 2021 Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and this is the first year that I have been in and completed a full-on Hobonichi Weeks. I moved into this planner in December of 2020, and I moved out the last full week of November of 2021, and then I moved into my new Hobonichi Weeks Mega, which is over here in the corner. But this served as my planner and archive for 2021. And when I say archive, it basically means that this is the planner that I keep at the end of the year. I allow myself to kind of dabble in other things. I typically bullet journal on the side if you've seen any of my other videos, and I will pick up different planners here and there, but this is the one thing that I reach for consistently, or I commit to filling out. No matter if I'm using another planner, I will make time to make sure all the information kind of filters back into one place, so I've got one thing to keep on my shelf at the end of the year. But this is the 2021 Latte Mega Weeks, and I really wish this was a color that was, consistent from year to year, but it's got the gold foiling. I used mine without a clear cover or in a cover for quite a bit this year, and I'm actually surprised it's not more beat up than it does currently look, but it definitely has shown its wear from being used for an entire year. But I thought we'd just kind of flip through. I'll mention where things are from if I see anything, and I'll just kind of chat about how I use the planner, and we'll flip through the entire thing so you can kind of see the spreads that I've used throughout the year. So I started off by putting down a decal from Virgo and paper. Love her shop and her design. She does a really good job. My front cover is super beat up. I use this as a dashboard. I put sticky notes on here throughout the year and kind of did like a running inbox. In fact, I've got 2 sticky notes here at this point too. I'm going to be pulling out tabs and stuff as we go so I can kind of reuse them. In the front, there was the year at a glance, and I did use stickers just to kind of mark where we were in the month, but I used this to reference my paydays. These, by the way, are Midori index clips. I get mine on jet pens, but you can find them elsewhere. They're just like metal tabs that I like to use in my planners, and they are reusable. In the front, I kept track of my weight on a daily basis, and I'm shifting things up a little bit for 2022, but this works well for me as a habit tracker. And then you move into the monthlies. I loved these monthlies and I liked having them all together. They were just the perfect size for me to get down things that I needed throughout the month. I didn't do a whole lot of stickers, but I added a little bit of deco each month. I did a habit tracker at the bottom, running list down the side, and then all day events and appointments go within the month. I would mark travel or days off with Tombow dual brush pens, and just added a little bit of deco here and there. Like these are from Randy.plans from a Patreon subscription. But I future plan in the monthly along with just using it as my current monthly view, and overall really happy with this. Nothing that I would change for next year other than I moved my habit tracker just because I'm wanting to keep all my habit trackers with my goal spreads. But also ended up taking the days off throughout the year, and in general, really happy with these and like them quite a bit. This is my last full monthly, and this is kind of how my monthlies are going to be looking in my 2022 Hobonichi Weeks. I did still pre-plan in these additional months because I do use it as my future log tool. So anytime something was scheduled ahead throughout the year, I went ahead and wrote it in, and then anything that came up post-March of 2022, I just wrote down here at the bottom, and then I referenced this to fill out my new Hobo Weeks. So then this planner moves into the weekly. It is a horizontal planner, week on 2 page, Monday start. This side of the page is actually blank, and this side of the page has a grid. There's also a little mini calendar here at the bottom. Every week has a quote, and the quotes are all in Japanese. And this was the year I fell in love with a horizontal planner. This worked super well for me, I realized, from a productivity standpoint, because most of what I do is not date specific. Almost everything that I accomplish can just sort of happen any day of the week as long as it happens within the week, with a few exceptions, and I have occasional appointments and things like that. So let me just flip here and I'll show you basically how I use this. So I draw a line down the center. In the left column, I write down date specific appointments or all day events. This is date specific tasks and notes. highlights of the day, a running to-do list for the week, and then I typically do a habit tracker either at the bottom or at the top. I pull in stickers occasionally. I think I average like 5 stickers per week. This is one I made myself. The stickers I frequent are the Coffee Monsters Co., Caffeine and Paper Co., Paper and Milk. I've got some scripts here from Randy.Plans. I also have got some things in here from Sterling Ink, and Happy Day is another big one, which I think we'll see here in a bit. This is one I drew myself. Also drew that one too. These are from Sterling Ink, these really pretty floral ones. There's a Happy Day sticker. Those are kind of the ones that I reach for the most, and I have a plethora of stickers, and I've just been slowly working through my stash this year, and I typically add stickers as I go throughout the week. I don't really lay them down ahead of time, and I think that just helps me choose a sticker that's perfect for that moment compared to what I think is going to be perfect for that week. Used some washi tape here and there. These are kind of fun to flip through. This is when the Secret Sky Festival was online this year. Got into bullet journaling. Sister-in-law's bachelorette party. First pool day. Yeah, so these are sort of a hybrid of pre-planning, being able to see what I need to do when I'm in a current week, and then I like to backfill in those highlights of the days and the memories, because I think this makes a good way for me to go back and basically just see like what happened that week. I want them to be a quick dashboard. I want to be able to use them for memory keeping, along with being a productivity tool. There's a few things I'm changing about this for 2022, and primarily it's just like I'm trying to be more creative by doodling in like a sketch at the end of each week to kind of use up this free space, and I'm also trying to doodle in my own little icons for like tasks and memories throughout, just to make it a little bit more of a visual jumping point for me as I am flipping through these. But I pull in Tombow dual brush pens to mark when I am traveling or days off, just the same as I do in my monthlies, and I'll add that kind of accent color throughout here on the right hand page as well. I had jury duty this year, that was a fun one. I've also got, these are from Pumpkin Paper Co. I did a pretty big order with her this year. Love this week. I went to New York this weekend and went to Harry Potter World. That was fun. So you can see the Harry Potter continued into the following week. But the last few weeks of the year here, I started kind of experimenting with what I wanted to do with this space. And one of my goals was to sketch on a weekly basis. So I just started to kind of start drawing things in as I felt like. So this was my last week in this planner. It was the week of Thanksgiving, and when I moved back, when I came back from the holidays, I went ahead and moved into my new planner at this point, but I had still kind of pre-planned and played with some of the layouts over here just to see how I wanted to do it. I haven't written anything in for December. I'm not sure I'm going to, because I know I'll probably keep my 2022 weeks as well. So that information is somewhere if I need it, but I might, sticker plan if I want to just play with some planners so it's all in one book. Next, we have my notes pages, and I bullet journal in the back of my notes pages. I primarily do trackers, collections, reference notes, and my daily logs are all in the back. But on this page, I just used it as a pen test page. So these are primarily the markers that I ended up using in my planner. I did keep an index, and I'm going to keep that tab in there because this is the one thing I'm going to need to reference frequently. I have my cycle tracker for the year, my workout tracker for the year. As you can see, I did way better at the beginning of the year than I did towards the end. My daily planner spend tracker, my work hours tracker, my cleaning checklist. This is my products tracker and my adulting checklist. Then I have several sort of like spending logs and registers throughout here, and then we move into my first few daily logs. And I will say, like, these first 3 days, I fell in love with the planner. By the time I had written this all in, I was like, this is perfect. I knew we were going to get on so well, and I think I even wrote here like, hello, we are in love. And That's pretty accurate. I don't think I stepped away from this planner for more than like 2 days at a time. There was like maybe one full weekend where I was only in a bullet journal, and then after that I was basically back in here all the time. I just find this planner so handy. I like the size, it's super compact, it's portable. I was able to fit everything I needed in here and more. And the full year is in one book. It is easy to write in without a desk, which is something that is really important to me, particularly when I'm traveling, either for work or for my personal life. And I just enjoy small, tiny planners as it is. So that was something that I got a lot of good use out of. February, I started getting a little bit more doodly in here. Run tracker. Never leave myself 2 pages for that. So I did a mix of using like character stickers, hand lettering, and doodling. My favorite brush pens to use in here are the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen and the soft tip brush pen. I do use both of them. I printed out these inserts. These are the monthly plan inserts from Shop SM Plans, and I use those for goals. This is for a Nuzlocke I did. And yeah, I think every page I really made it my own, and there's so much fun to like flip back through the daily logs and see all the to-do lists along with all the memories kind of categorized into one place. And yeah, it's just been a really unique way of looking at my year from both like a functional productivity standpoint, and it was simultaneously a memory keeper. And I'm not entirely sure that I could ask for much more out of a planner. If I could make any changes to the Hobonichi Weeks, I would add like 100 more notes pages. So there was like 365 numbered blank pages in the back. And I would maybe change the color of the paper, but this is the year that I actually really fell in love with cream paper. And I just think it's a little bit easier on the eyes, and it gives it more of that vintage vibe without needing to like really do anything to take care of that. But some of the pages are messier than others. Some of the pages I really like my handwriting. But towards the mid-year, I started layering a bunch of stickers. I was using kits from Randy.Plan's Patreon subscriptions, and really like how these like clear, colorful stickers ended up looking in my planner, especially when I layered them, which is fun. This is actually my favorite spread. My favorite 2-page spread in my entire planner is this right here. This was a pen test page, and I did this on my favorite pens videos, and I can link that up in the cards if you want to check that out. But these are all my favorite Tombows and pens and inks that I use in this particular planner. So something I started doing in August was adding just a couple snippets of journaling. I've passed a few spreads already where I do this, but I'll typically just do like a character sticker on the left or the right, and then add a couple sentences for just some quick journaling if I don't want to pull out my whole planner. And I didn't have any issues running out of room doing this for the last quarter of the year, and it's something I definitely have been doing in my new planner if I don't want to pull out my actual journal, or I know I want to journal about something separate. This is a good way for me to do that. This was our trip to Oakland, California. We went to Second Sky Festival this year, and then I rolled right into jury duty. That was an experience. All right, and then this was that week to New York that I really liked. I've got some of these like sticky note tabs here. These were from Muji. And I also tried doing some like tip-ins. And these are the last few pages in my planner. I ended up using 203 of the 215 notes pages. In the back, I used the My 100 as a reading log. I ended up swatching the Crayola Colors of the World over here. And on the reference pages, I printed out these inserts from Nada Notes for Stardew Valley on Tombow River paper and just glued them into the back. And otherwise, it's just a pen test page. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing my Hobonichi Weeks, and I hope I get to do another one of these next year where I flip through this entire planner. It definitely got a little bit chunky, but I don't think it got out of control, but I weighed my 2022 one when it was empty, and I'm curious what the difference will be at the end of the year. But if you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.